vibrations, sweet babies. So, I'm just checking in to see how we are doing as a collective after that 7-7 portal. I feel like we covered a lot in that reading. There was a lot coming through for that, and I feel like I tried to give some, guidance towards where to put your energy. I had a lot going on during that time, so I haven't been able to drop in and check in with you guys since then. But let me know. I do want to know. I want to hear from you. I want to be in communication, honey. And let me know how you went through that portal. We had a new moon also coming up around that time. And I feel like the energy of 7-7 is fun. It's playful. It's energy. It's like movement, right? And the 7 is representative of the Chariot, if you were to look at the 7 card in the tarot. And I love the tarot for a very simple reason, that it's archetypes. Now, I don't pull tarot cards. I work with oracle cards. However, I reference a lot of the tarot symbology because of archetypes. I just love archetypes. So anyway, the Chariot is all about direction, movement, going forward. And I think the reason that 7-7 felt so fun and playful, it kind of gives me that same energy as, if you've been following along with my videos for this long, 11-11 was like the magician's portal, which was really like wishful thinking, and if you could have anything happen, and how to remove the illusions of your life, so on and so forth. 7-7 portal coming right around the time of the new moon was more so like, what do you want? What do you see for yourself going forward? You can have that wishful thinking energy. There's like this kind of little sprinkle of luck mixed in there. However, it's really about like, what actions do you need to take? Where do you need to go? What do you need to do to really move forward towards your goals, right? And I think we had a lot of really powerful cosmic stuff going on as well. So, in the last couple of weeks, I would say we probably were also realizing there was just things being uncovered. I remember from that 7-7 reading that, there was an element of commitment and wanting good things for yourself, wanting good things for, the people and the relationships in your life and all of that. But I think what we felt more so as we went through that portal, set focus, set intention, but as we actually moved through it and moved through the new moon, we moved through some, powerful cosmic stuff. And I think what was uncovered was, what does it really mean for us? What are those goals? What are those intentions? What are the things that we're really committing to actually mean for us? What would that actually look like? When we take away the energy of like luck and movement and momentum and forward motion, what's really there? What do those intentions actually mean about who we are, what we want for ourselves? And more specifically, I think what became really clear was what things we need to let go of in order to make that happen, right? And as we move towards the full moon, which is coming up on the 29th, this is really going to be a powerful time for release and letting things go before we go into the 8-8 portal, which is Lion's Gate. It's powerful. And when I tell you this year, it is 888. Like, it is all around groovy, infinite potential energy. We're going to get there. First, I just want to speak to you about this energy that I'm feeling for this upcoming full moon. It just, Hey, no. This cat is so crazy. When I tell you, this cat is wild. He's like taken to being a house cat like a breeze. Yeah, go scratch on your little post, not on the furniture. He's like, obviously, it's a house cat, like a domesticated cat, right? Like, that's what cats are. But he was out and astray for who knows how long. And when he wants to act up, oh, let me tell you, he acts up. But then the rest of the time, he's like, he just wants to be at your feet. He just wants to cuddle up. He just wants to, oh my goodness. Anyway. Trying to keep up with him is a whirlwind. So this full moon, I'm really feeling into and I'm really loving. And this next week, I feel like I'm going to really be sitting down, working some magic and just really connecting to some practices that I've been doing for quite some time now and always feel like called to and compelled to, especially around the time of the full moon. And I encourage you to do the same because this is a sacred pause that we can really, really harness and use for our ultimate, good, our greatest good, our unlimited potential. Like it is, if you're new here, I refer to the full moon as the sacred pause. It is a time in every lunar cycle, so every 28 days, that we come back to just be still, to just pause, to just eliminate distractions, noise, stimuli, outside interference, and get really dropped inward. Be with yourself, be with the moon, be with your higher power, be with your inner wants and desires, be with your inner notions and intuition, be in your body, be in the moment, be mindful, be still. That's what the full moon offers us. Now, we always have these different influences cosmically, things going on, but I think this one in particular is really nice, to put it plainly, because Mercury's retrograde effects are going to be slowly moving away from us. And if you listen to the last reading I did where I talked about Mercury retrograde, it wasn't this like big scary, oh my God, what is going to happen? Like all these horrible things are going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Look, Mercury retrograde was in Sagittarius, so I don't know if I just got lucky with this one because I have not had too many issues. I think there's been like maybe 2 or 3 things that showed up and I was like, this feels like Mercury was in the mix, but it wasn't horrible or whatever. I don't like to catastrophize cosmic shifts, especially because I know after many years of rolling with all the punches here, it's not here to hurt us. It's here to help us. It's here to show us things. And if we have that awareness and we have that ability to remove ourselves from, the center of the universe, we can usually see the bigger picture and what's going on and what it's showing us. So, like I said in the other reading about Mercury retro, it is really going to offer conversations that are illuminating. It's going to give us insights. It's going to give us those light bulb moments. And you might have had a lot of ideas. You might have had some interesting conversations that were like, oh, okay, that kind of pieces things together for me. There just was probably some element of either confusion that becomes clarity or clarity that cleared confusion, but the clarity is coming. If you're in the midst of your Mercury retro and you're like, I'm stressed, trust and believe that the clarity is coming, and it will probably come to you even more so if you take your moment under the full moon for a sacred pause. There might be these things that are just like, oh wait, I just gave myself room to think and feel and breathe, and all that stuff that was spinning in my head just like came to a halt, and I get it now. I'm not going to make you any promises, of course, but I do think as Mercury is fading away, this full moon is really going to kind of bring a full circle feeling to all of the things that we experienced and learned throughout Mercury retro. Now, also, it's really going to help us bring kind of a close to that portal we went through with 7-7. We set those intentions. They felt big. We felt we had all this momentum and movement and drive and passion, and we were getting carried into our future, and we could see what the future was going to look like. And I love that for us, collective. But now bring that chariot to a pause. Rest. Notice what you've done. Be grateful for everything you've done. Be grateful for the movement, the momentum. Even if you were just getting ideas of where you wanted to go, take that moment with the full moon and be grateful and appreciate that. At the very least, my favorite thing about the full moon is that it offers us a moment, an intentional moment every month to be grateful and to reflect, right? Reflect that light. Reflect on the light that came into our lives in the last month. Reflect on what you've accomplished, what you learned, how you grew. But here's the big thing, especially for this full moon on the 29th. Reflect on what needs to be let go. This is really going to be a sacred pause where we can release. Release what no longer serves you. If you're in that woo-woo community, y'all know what I'm talking about. You've heard it a million times. Release what no longer serves you. Whatever that needs to be. I've been feeling intuitively that the collective needs to do some more energy clearing, and I feel that. So that might be a big part of my full moon practice. But, yeah, very much so. Appreciate what you learned through the 7-7 portal, whether it was a lot about how you need to move forward, what you want to be committed to, and where you want to go. But now also appreciate that some things from your last year, from your whole life, from this past month, can't come with you. They don't support that movement. They don't support that forward momentum. They don't support the energy that it's going to take to get you there. So in a sense, you will be recommitting to yourself and to your goals and to the things you intended through that 7-7 portal. Because when you release what does not serve those intentions and serve what your highest and greatest good has shown you through this last lunar cycle, you are recommitting, right? If you're allowing yourself to flow and move through the changes, if you're allowing yourself to commit to a goal, but you see that there's something here that needs to be let go in order for you to achieve that goal or to come closer to that goal or to stay on your path and on your journey, by letting it go, you're making room for that. You're making space for that. Some of you are like, yeah, I know how the lunar cycle works, but some of you, I think, need that reaffirmation that this is how the lunar cycle works, and that it has for as long as the moon has gone through its phases. For as long as you've been on this earth and your ancestors have been on this earth, that's how the moon works. So work with it. Honor it, respect it, right? Because you have the ability to work with this. Or you can go on blissfully unaware. You could go on in the everyday shuffle. You can go on knowing that the moon is probably affecting you, but I'll catch the next full moon. I'll catch the next lunar cycle. Or you could drop into the one life that you have and recognize that this full moon is a sacred pause for you to honor the cosmos in which you are here existing in and very much a part of, and give appreciation, pray, say thank you, and notice your cosmic influence in the mix. Because this 8-8 portal that is coming up is really going to be something. I don't know if I'm going to speak on that just yet. I feel like we can really focus here on what the full moon has to offer us. But I will say this. It is going to be crucial that you think about your infinite potential, which doesn't mean the potential you have to have a good day tomorrow, which doesn't mean the potential you have to make a good paycheck in the next week. It doesn't mean how do I, just like get through the day. Your infinite potential, infinite. Think of an infinity sign. Think of what that means. It means forever. It means long, long time, okay? It means infinite. It means impacting your energy so that you can be in flow, call in abundance, align with your purpose, stay in connection with the higher power, with your source, for, no end date in sight, okay? And we're offered an 8-8 portal every year, but this is a 888 portal. I'm not sure when the next one is that we'll have, but I can almost guarantee you it's not for a while. This 888 portal, and like I said, we'll talk more about this in a future reading. This 888 portal is allowing you to reconnect with your purpose, with your potentiality. Oop, a door is opening. Yes. It is going to open doors for you that you thought might never open, or that you knew were going to open for you at some point, but you did not know how to access the key or what route you had to take. God's going to open those doors for you, okay? Your higher power is going to open those doors for you. Your source, your angels, your ancestors, your guides, whoever you're praying to, whoever you're working with towards, goddesses, gods alike, use this portal, okay? Oh, I just wanted to sit and just enjoy that moment, okay? Because you are someone, if you're listening to this, if you're in my collective, you're someone who knows in their heart and in their soul that you are connected. You're tapped in, you're tuned in, you're turned on. Ooh, we've got a bird. If somebody can hear that in this audio and knows what bird calls are and which ones they are, let me know what bird that was, because that was interesting. Anyway, if you're part of this collective, you have always been connected to your source. You may have had a deep practice, or you may have just always had an inclination to the spiritual and to the divine. You may have a strong connection to your intuition and your gut feeling. It's time to come back to that and to mean it, to be real about it. Okay, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle, to quote unquote adulting, right? It's very distracting to have to participate in this very real 3D world we're a part of, but it does not change who you are and what you've always been connected to. And this full moon is really asking for you to be still to find, if you can, solitude, or go to a group of people who also can appreciate what that full moon is really there to offer you, and be really intentional about what you need to recommit to by releasing and by letting go. What needs to be let go so that you can commit to yourself once again, so that you can commit to what you knew you were being pulled towards with the 7-7 portal. That was real, right? And just because the phases of the moon and the cosmic influences might have shown you new things or given you new information or asked you to shift gears, does not devalue what you were feeling called towards and pulled towards with that 7-7 portal represented by the Chariot. So I really encourage you to sit with this full moon and be honest with yourself, with your higher power. Ask on your angels and ancestors and guides to show you what steps you need to take, what things you need to do or not do to really call in what you're made for. What is your potentiality? Are you living and walking in purpose? You don't have to have some grandiose goal or idea of who you are. At the end of the day, we're all just another average Joe. You know, we're all the main characters in our own story, but let us not forget that we're all just people here for a period of time. What do you want to do with that time? How do you want to leave a mark in your life and in your world with that time? Are you satisfied with what that's set up to look like long term? Are you comfortable with what you have now and what you're calling in? If you keep on the path that you're on currently, at the rate you're going currently, with the habits you have currently, with the mindsets you have currently, are you lit up inside when you think about where you're going right now? With all the things you've just learned, uncovered, understood in the last month. Everything that's happened. Because so much can happen, and at the same time, it's just a month. Giving ourselves that moment to pause and reflect really allows us to think about every little thing that's happened in the last month. For me, it was a busy one. For some of you, maybe it wasn't that much going on at all, but maybe internally there was a lot. There's a lot happening, a lot of things you're thinking about, a lot of feelings you're working through, a lot of, nudges and calls towards something that you want to get to, but you don't know how to find the time. Regardless, whether you're physically out there doing a whole lot in the world or you're internally processing and changing and shifting and growing, there's worth sitting with. It's worth appreciating and reflecting on and being grateful for. Why? Because you're here, because you're a part of this, because all of it was divinely led. And I brought you here to this reading, and there is a reason for that. And that reason is to keep you going, to keep you on your path. So walk through these portals with me, my friends. And if you're new here, my name is Hannah. I do oracle card readings. I do energy forecasts like this one you listened to today. And I love to talk about what's going on as far as collectively in the world. For my collective, what we're feeling into with the different planetary aspects and energetic portals as we go through the calendar year. And yeah, we've got some cool stuff coming up. So I want to keep going. I want to keep going intentionally with awareness, with gratitude. And everything that I've done in my life, I've been able to do that with the help of the universe. So I'm not going to stop now. And I hope that this reading allows you to feel that support and that guidance from the universe as well. So if you were grooving with this message, drop a comment and let me know that you are taking that sacred pause, how you'll be spending your full moon, or just drop a little moon emoji in the comments, leave a thumbs up, receive all the groovy goodness that I am infusing in this reading. It's an energy exchange, but I really just give it to you from the bottom of my heart with so much love, openness, and connection. So with that being said, I will talk to you very soon.